Hi, Callan. So today you are actually skipping lesson number 4. I know, but Miss Sarah, we can't skip lessons. Well, unfortunately, lesson number 4 is entirely made up of playing a game, and the homework assignment is also to play a game with a person at home. And I know that's going to be really difficult because at home right now it's you and your mom, right? And you are both, your mom's working and you're trying to do your math. And I realize there's no way that this lesson is going to make any sense to do on your own. It was involving playing a game of battleships. So I think there might be a way to play it online. If you want to try playing it online, I can see if I can find a link for you. But otherwise, it's kind of a lesson we can't do. So instead, we're going to move straight on to lesson 5, and anytime they reference battleship, it's just going to be kind of an extra problem you can do if you know how, but you don't have to do. At least for the time being. So let's just go ahead and look over your problem set. I've got it in front of me right here, but you may either have it printed out so you can write on it, or you could be like me and have it up on a different device so that you can look at it and then write down your answers. It's a little bit harder to do that way because you're working with coordinates, so it is going to be pretty nice just having it printed, but if you can't, then you can always rewrite it. All right, so looking at number 1, use the coordinate plane to the right to answer the following questions. And I see in letter A that it asks you to use a straight edge. But you may not be so sure on what a straight edge is. Straight edge is literally anything that has a straight edge. So if you've got a ruler, that works perfectly, and that's usually what they mean. But in my case, I'm looking around, and I don't see any rulers. I could use my whiteboard. That has a straight edge, and it's pretty thick enough that I could take a pencil and go along with it. I see I've got this like book card thing. I can use that. I want to make sure I don't mess it up too much because it is kind of nice. I could take really any book. I've got, a book and just use that. As long as I'm not writing on the pages, that's fine. Anything. All right, anything that has a straight edge will technically work. The thicker it is, the easier it is to work with. I've even seen people who say, okay, I'm going to take my phone, take off the case, and then they just use the side that doesn't have buttons. That's fine. I mean, try not to draw on your phone, so be careful. But anything that has a straight edge that you can run your pencil along so that you can make a straight line. That's what it's asking. In B, it talks about parallel and perpendicular, just to make sure we know these two lines are parallel, but this line and this line are perpendicular. These are perpendicular. There we go. Now you can actually see. That's perpendicular and that's parallel. All right? I just want to make sure we remember parallel and perpendicular because those are going to come in handy. Coordinates. When I look at the coordinates of A, I'm looking there and I see, well, it's 4 over and 4 up. Great. 4, 4. Looks like that. Remember the X before the Y. So then I look at B. B is 11 over and 4 up. So 11 is our X because it's the X-axis number. So 11, 4 would be B. So A like this, B like this. Okay? Now, if you look at the next page, you're going to get some things that look kind of like this, where they have the letter, colon, and then these numbers. What that's telling you is you need to plot those points. So if you look at the first one is P, colon, 1.5, comma, 1/2, like that. And it looks super complicated, especially because it's next to that Q1 as well. All this is saying is find 1.5 over on the x-axis and half up on the y-axis, and then put a little dot and label it P. That's what they're asking. So then the next one, which is Q, Q is Q colon 1.5, comma 2.5, sorry, 2.5. So here they would say, okay, find 1.5 over on the x, 2 up. You're gonna put a Q dot there. Put a point there and name it Q. That's all they're asking. So it looks complicated, but it really isn't. Obviously, again, if you've got any questions, let me know. You'll continue by using a straight edge. And that point that you're going to connect, so let's say I connect point P and point Q. It's not going to actually look like this, but let's say you've connected them using a straight edge. And it says to label it H. Notice it's kind of like a cursive H, not an H or an H. There's a difference. So you do need it to be kind of cursive like, or as curly Q-esque as you can do. But notice it's just right next to the thing. I'm not putting that H next to any of the points because that would make it, that point is H, but that point is Q, and then it gets confusing. So you want to make sure it's next to the line, away from the other points. The rest of this, I think, should make sense once you're actually doing it. If it doesn't, let me know. The only other thing I'm going to tell you right now is you do not have to solve number 7. Number 7 is an optional if you know how Battleship is played, but if you've never played Battleship, number 7 is not going to make any sense, and that's fine. You can skip number 7. Yeah, that's going to be your work. It's just the problem set minus number 7. Okay? Have a great day, Callan, and please let me know if you need any help or if you have any questions at all.